Hello, hello everyone. Ziljin here with another vlog type video. Yeah, this time it's going to be talking about the new Mobile Suit Gundam live action movie. So yeah, maybe you've heard the news. They're Legendary announced they're having a collaboration with Sunrise, and they're gonna make a Gundam live action movie. Here's reading from an article. Details are scarce, and a provided press release by the studio stresses no story details are being revealed right now. However, it does include a brief synopsis for the premise of the original beloved anime series and its setting in the Universal Century. Yeah, so the original Gundam series is set in the Universal Century in an era in which humanity's growing population has led people to emigrate to space colonies. Eventually, the people living in the colonies seek their autonomy and launch a war of independence against the people living on Earth. Through the tragedies and discord arriving from this human conflict, not only the maturation of the main character, but also the intentions of enemies and the surrounding people are sensitively depicted. So yeah, that's all it is. They just had a brief summary. I mean, not brief summary. Yeah, I guess like super simplified summary of the 1 year war, and it, that's definitely my favorite setting of every Gundam series. Like definitely the 1 year war is my most favorite. Universal Century. I like Universal Century, but only with the 1 year war. Like everything behind that doesn't really interest me. Like Gundam Unicorn, wow, amazing graphics, but also like, who are these people? They're not Amuro Ray, they're not Char Aznavour. Like I don't care about them. You know what I'm saying? I got that deep-seated nostalgia. Yeah. So, while on one hand I'm psyched about the announcement of the movie, but also on the other hand, I'm not expecting much. Because like, if you're, I don't know if you know about this, but has been in fact a previous live action movie for Gundam. It was G Savior. I've watched it. It was complete garbage. Like it was terrible. Like the Gundams, the mobile suits, they barely show up, and when they do, they're like super slow and clunky. It's like it's not fluid. Like if you watch Pacific Rim, which is done by Legendary Pictures, the mechs are super fluid. They can they're not like super slow robots, clunky and stuff like that. So maybe maybe back then the CGI was crap. They couldn't do it, but now they like Legendary definitely could do a good robot, giant robot movie, And yeah, and there's also the Transformer movies, which I freaking hate. Like they completely change all the designs and this huge focus on humans, and that's another thing that worries me. Like, they're probably gonna have like a huge focus on humans. I guess it makes sense. You can't just have a movie like 60 minutes of just like giant robots killing each other. Like, even though I would love that. Like, you can't, like, there's no story to that. Like, I would love to have just like it's like a pseudo documentary of just non-stop like footage of battles and stuff like that, like mixed with some like speeches and stuff like that. But yeah, that's obviously not going to be a movie. They're going to like keep the battles to a minimum, minor skirmishes, just a couple of minutes long or something. They're not going to have like a 30-minute long battle. I mean, if Peter Jackson was involved, then hell yeah, he could. The movie would be like 4 hours long with like an hour long battle in the middle. That would be awesome, But I'm pretty sure he's not involved. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like this movie, it's gonna be really hyped, and also it's gonna have like lots of controversy, because like first of all, like people are gonna be like the designs of the robots, how fluid the animation is, the emphasis on the humans versus the pilots and the government and the plots and like the alliances and stuff versus the giant robots killing each other. The people want to see lots of mobile suits shooting each other and stuff. And then that's gonna be like one whole thing, like and then there's another thing, the casting, because now like most anime, it's it's either the characters are Asian or they're white. Yeah. So in Gundam, there's Jose. He's like the only one that's explicitly not Asian, not white. He's well, going by his last name Jose. He's Hispanic, right? Like every other character, they're Asian or white. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. The Federation is basically based on America, the West, and stuff like that. I mean, there's Bright Noah. He's supposed to be from Hong Kong, but Bright Noah, that name doesn't sound Chinese at all. Like, so is he gonna, like, are they gonna cast Chinese man for him, or half Chinese, half British, or he's just gonna be straight up British? Because during that, during the, like, it used to be back in the day, like Britain, UK had control over Hong Kong. So naturally, there's gonna be non-Chinese people in Hong Kong. So yeah, so Bright Noah could have just been a British officer who lived in Hong Kong. Yeah. So there's gonna be that. Like, are they gonna cast mostly Asians? They're mostly white characters. Are they gonna cast people of color? Are they just gonna have one Hispanic character as Jose, and there's gonna be 0 black people in the movie? Who knows? And then, like, yeah, and what if they do cast black people in the movie, and they're gonna be like, oh, it's like Death Note. We're like, what? That character wasn't black in the original series. Why are you casting a black person? And there's gonna be controversy over there. Whether you cast, if the character is gonna be mostly Asian or mostly white or other races, there's gonna be people so angry and like having so many internet arguments and racial slurs and racism and agendas and all this politics and stuff. I imagine this is gonna be like potential dynamite. It's gonna be like go crazy. And then, so the casting, there's huge potential for controversy, and then the Universal Century, the Zeon they're basically space Nazis. That there's no way to deny it. They're heavily inspired or based on Nazi Germany, the uniforms. And then even the characters, like one of the characters, like the leader, like his dad's like, oh, you're like basically Hitler. He's like, thanks, Dad. Like, that's a compliment. Like, compare me to Hitler. Like, what the hell? So yeah, so obviously, to commit lots of war atrocities. Obviously, both sides are not supposed to be like good or evil. Like maybe the original series, like it's kind of like more leaning towards Zeon being evil, but then they add in all these OVAs and other series where it's like both sides outdoing each other. Both sides are like pure evil and stuff. But obviously, one is based on Nazi Germany, so obviously, some people are gonna be like, oh, this movie is like pro-Nazis or anti-Nazis, depending on how they depict. If they in fact, based on Universal Century Federation versus Zeon, is basically World War II with robots in it. So it's like, oh, the U.S. and Allies versus Nazi Germany, and like, yeah, so people are gonna be like, oh, this movie is, if they depict Zeon as good characters, good people, like they're like, oh, this movie is pro-Nazi, and then like the alt-right or whatever, the far right, they're gonna be like, yeah, this movie is amazing. And then there's gonna be people gonna be like, and on the other hand, if Zeon is just depicted as pure evil, to people on the right, they're gonna be like, oh my god, this is, like, you're always calling us Nazis, and now you got a movie that's anti-Nazi. You're clearly anti-white. This is racist, like against white people. This is like a liberal movie and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like Black Panther. First they're like, oh, this is racist against white people. It's about black people, about it's like about African country that it's untainted by white people and stuff like that. It's all racist against white people. But then later on, it's like, oh, this is basically like Black Panther is basically Donald Trump. He wants to insulate Wakanda, keep all the invaders and foreigners out, like build a wall and stuff like, yeah. So it's like, oh, like it's like a ethno state, right wing ethno state, like people are saying. So like, yeah. So one hand they're gonna be like, oh, this could be depicted as pro-Nazi or anti-Nazi, and there's definitely gonna be people on the left and the right that will be like, again, arguing like whether the movie is pro or anti-Nazism. And then obviously in this current political climate, Nazism and the right is basically synonymous. But also there's people on the right saying liberals are like Nazis because they're censoring free speech and banning people out of like areas and stuff like that. So like basically at this point everyone's compared to a Nazi. Yeah. Because Nazis were fascists, and they're saying, oh, the liberals, the Democrats, they're fascists. They're trying to like infringe upon my rights and all that stuff, in like censoring free speech and all that stuff. So yeah, like there's definitely, I feel like Mobile Suit Gundam is gonna be like, there's the potential to be super controversial whether it lives up to the source material or not, whether the characters, it's diverse or not, like the acting, the casting, and then whether like they depict Zion as like good guys or bad guys and stuff like that. Those are the three main points which I think could lead to like massive controversy, whether like people are gonna hate this movie or love this movie, they're gonna boycott it, they're gonna support it, yeah. Yeah. There's that problem. Like, I don't know if you heard, like, there's the Attack on Titan, that manga and the anime. That's clearly based on German names, and a lot of the characters clearly look white. And then when they made the Attack on Titan movie, they're like, oh, why is the casting all Asian? Where's the white people? And like Levi's clearly like not Asian and stuff like that. Like Mikasa should be the only Asian character. Like, so yeah. And then also there's the movie, I believe it was Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson. They're like, oh, like why are they casting a white woman for anime movie? Like there should be an Asian actor and stuff like that. Like yeah, so there's definitely gonna be that problem. And then like if you know about Wolfenstein, it was like make America Nazi free again. Like some people on the right were saying, oh, this game is good because they're like the pro free speech. They're not afraid to have like Nazi symbols all over the game, plastered all over the game. And because like a lot of games, a lot of video, like movies and etc., instead of just having Nazis, they just have like Nazi analogs. Like Marvel Universe has the Hydra, like Hail Hydra, Hail Hitler, almost the same, right? And then instead of the Nazi salute, they have the Hydra salute, which is two hands instead of one. So like there's definitely a lot of parallels. So like some people are like, oh, this is like pro free speech, they're not afraid of the free speech censors and stuff like that. They're having Nazi symbols all over the game everywhere. And then there's also the people saying, oh, you're anti-Nazi, that means you're anti-white. Yeah, so definitely Wolfenstein had lots of controversy in terms of that. The anime movies has controversy with the casting. So this is going to be combining both. There's going to be Nazi analog and casting issues, and then add in problems with like Transformers source material issues. Yeah, those are gonna three massive potential like freaking controversies of this movie. We'll have to see how to go about doing this. Yeah, so that's what are my thoughts on the movie. So like on one hand, I do want to see it. But also on the other hand, I imagine it's gonna be not that, like, it's not gonna be that amazing. It's not gonna be good. I'm afraid it's gonna be complete garbage. Mostly on the source material stuff. But obviously there's the casting. It would be nice to have some more extra diverse casting. Like I know like in the OVAs like. If you watched Gundam the Origin, like there's definitely more black people in it in the anime. I mean, it's been a while since I watched the original series, but I don't remember if the cast, I mean the characters were just mostly just white, Asian. I can't remember if they had like black characters back in the original anime series, but I know in the Origin series they definitely have a few. Like they're not major characters, just people in the background, but still at least kind of an attempt at diversity. Yeah, like even Warcraft, the Warcraft movie. This is unrelated, but like they had most of the kingdom, most of the people in the kingdom are white, and most of the humans in the Warcraft games are white. but like they did have a few characters, like minor characters that were clearly black and Asian, like yeah, non-white. So yeah, I mean, is that good? Is that good enough? Is that better than nothing? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's definitely gonna be complaints about like casting too diverse or not diverse enough, like straying away from the source material or too close to the source material. And this thing happens time and time again, you know, in comic book movies and anime movies, everything, book movies and stuff like that. There's yeah, this movie has, yeah, I mean, said this like 10 times already, but yeah, this movie has potential for massive controversy. So yeah, that's pretty much sums up what I think about the announcement. Cautiously optimistic, but with super low expectations, pretty much. Yeah. So hopefully everyone enjoyed watching this video. If hopefully you understood what I was talking about, and yeah, please no flame wars. Even though probably not many people are gonna be watching this video, but yeah, if you did, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the whole thing. You're awesome. So yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. I guess the only thing left is to say, what do you think? Like, what do you think about the Gundam movie? Do you think it's going to be good or is it going to be bad? Do you think it's going to have problems with the casting, with the source material, and with, you know, the Ziljin being a Nazi, space Nazis, pretty much? So yeah, tell me what you think down below. Subscribe, comment, rate the video. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye bye.